It's 2:17 a.m. A server deep inside your network suddenly wakes up. An account you don't recognize logs in. Seconds later, a new process spawns PowerShell, hidden behind a scheduled task. And then, silence. No alarms. No blinking red lights. Just a line written quietly in the Windows event log. For most people, that's invisible. But for SOC analysts, that's the heartbeat of an attack. It's the only clue you get before the intruder starts moving laterally, dumping credentials and clearing their tracks. Today, we are going to break down how analysts can read these hidden signals, how to stitch together the story of an intrusion, and, just as important, how attackers twist and exploit the logs to hide in plain sight. You're listening to The Cyber Riddler, where we decipher the offensive and defensive side of the cyber world. I'm Ahmed Mraga. Now, I know, logs doesn't sound interesting. They are not flashy like malware samples or 0 days. But there is the truth. Logs are where the real story is hiding. If you know how to read them, they will tell you who did what, when, and sometimes even why. And if you are an attacker, logs are both a threat and an opportunity. They are the paper trail you do want people following. So let's spend some time breaking this down. We will talk about what logs you should actually care about, which event IDs you should memorize, learn how to spot patterns, and then flip the table and look how attackers try to use or abuse logs to their advantage. And we will end with some actionable steps you can take right away. Why event logs matter? Think of event logs as a system diary. Every time a user logs in, process spins up, policy changes, or a service installed, Windows shut down. As a SOC analyst, your job is to read between these lines. The catch? Where is the catch, you might ask? A single event doesn't mean much, but put a few lines together and suddenly you've got a timeline. The kind of timeline that shows you an attacker creeping in 2 a.m., dropping a scheduled task, firing up PowerShell, and reaching out to a suspicious IP. That's why logs matter. Not because of one line, but because of the pattern. So, which logs you should count? Not every log channel is gold. The big ones are security logs, system logs, application logs, PowerShell operational logs, and defender logs. In security logs, this is your bread and butter. Authentication, account changes, privilege assignments. This is what you got in security logs. In system logs, this is your OS level issues, like driver loads, sudden reboots, and so on. Application logs, this is kind of noisy. In app level events, sometimes it's noisy, but still valuable, because when an attacker tries to exploit a service or an app, during exploitation, the app or the service might generate some error. If you look closely, you might discover something bad is going on if you connect it with other logs. PowerShell logs, if it's enabled, they will tell you what scripts run. In Defender logs, you will see malware detection and remediation, which is good to see if an attacker used some tools in the attacker chain. And I'll say this bluntly, if you don't have sysmon deployed, you are flying blind. Sysmon gives you the process creation, network connection, file reads, and many more, and all the rich context you are going to want in an investigation. So, what are the event IDs that you have to memorize? Okay, here's the cheat sheet that you can search about it online. 4624, this is a successful login, and don't forget to pay attention to the login type. 4625, failed logon. Think about brute force or credential spray, or sometimes an expired account that still try to authenticate against the ID. 4648, logon using explicit credentials. This is like run as or PSExec behavior. 4672, special privilege assigned. This is just a fancy way of saying this account just went admin. 4688, process creation. It's gold when you see the command line. 4697, a service was installed. This is often used in persistence. 1102, audit logs was cleared. Always suspicious. 4719, audit policy was changed, possibly to blind defenders. And on domain controllers, you will also want Kerberos events 4768 and 4769. And if you are using Sysmon, don't forget to check process creation, network connection, and file create. Okay, so you might ask, how to hunt with the logs? Let's say you are on a shift and an alert pops up. Here is how you should triage it. Grab the event ID, timestamp, and the host and document all of that. Pull process creation events around the time. Look for read command lines. Check 15 minutes before and after. Did a new service get installed? Did a scheduled task appear? And so on. Think about these possibilities. Check network events. Was there an outbound connection right after the process bound or not? Finally, check for cleanup or logs clear or audit policy changes. This is not your standard procedure, but this is a way to hunt with the logs. What you are doing is building a short narrative. Think of it like crime scene reconstruction, but in the digital world. Let me give you just a small or a mini case study. Picture this. It's 2:40 a.m. You see an outbound connection from svchost.exe to some rare IP, and you pivot back. At 2:30, your scheduled task was created that runs PowerShell with a base64 blob. At 2:35, Sysmon shows PowerShell reaching out to multiple internal hosts, then to the rare IP. Around the same time, auditing for process creation was disabled. That's your attacker timeline, right there. Stolen credential, scheduled task persistence, PowerShell payload, and then connecting to the C2. And without logs, you would have none of that. Let me leave you with some checklists that you should search about it this week. Make sure Sysmon is actually running on high-value hosts. Verify your security logs are forwarding to your SIM. Create alerts and use cases for various attacks. Baseline fade logons. Know what normal looks like so you can spot the weird. I said it before. Logs aren't glamorous, but they are the foundation of real detection and investigation. You've been listening to The Cyber Riddler. Remember, a single event is a whisper, but a chain of events, that's the story of the breach. Don't forget to share this episode with anyone you think is interested about this topic. Don't forget to follow us on X at Cyber Riddler or me, Al-Murabi, ALMORABEA. Until next time, stay vigilant. This is Ahmed Al-Murabi signing off.